let's take a look at this problem. We got sine alpha is equal to 5/13, where alpha is between 0 and pi over 2. And we have cosine beta is equal to 7/25, where beta is between 0 and pi over 2. And we want to find cosine of alpha plus beta. So we want to find cosine of alpha plus beta. Well, if we look at our formula, cosine of, and this is x and y, but same idea. Looks like we need both sine and cosine of both variables. So for the alphas here, they give us sine, and between 0 and pi over 2 is first quadrant where everything's positive. So I know this is positive 5 over positive 13. If it was down in quadrant 3, I'd have negative 5 over negative 13. Even though this originally is a positive, you have to take into account the signs. Now remember, this is y over r, which means I'm going to use my Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So I got x squared plus 5 squared equals 13 squared. X squared plus 25 is equal to 169. X squared is equal to 169 minus 25. X squared is equal to 144. Now we drop the squared and we put a plus or minus square root on the other side. And 12 times 12 gives you 144, so this becomes x is equal to plus or minus 12. But again, we're talking in the first quadrant, and x is positive in the first quadrant, so x is going to equal to 12. So then, to find our other, we're given sine, so to find our other trig function, cosine of alpha is going to equal to x over r, which is going to equal to 12 over 13. Now our betas. And they said, again, it's in the first quadrant, between 0 and pi over 2, so everything's positive. So cosine beta is going to equal to 7/25. And cosine is x over r. And both of these are positive. Again, if it's in quadrant 3, then these would both be negative, because going backwards, negative divided by negative would give you a positive 7/25. So very important you look at the quadrant to determine your signs. It must be too early. You can't have r as negative. Never mind. So we got x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Okay, so we got 7 squared plus y squared is equal to 25 squared. So that's 49 plus y squared is equal to 625. Take 49 over, and we get what do we get? 576. Let's see if that's right. 12 against too early. Okay, so then we use square root property. Drop our squared, put a plus or minus square root on the other side. Square root of 576. Let's see if that works out perfect. So we get y is equal to plus or minus 24, and again, since we're dealing with quadrant 1, then y is going to be 24. Okay, now that we're waking up a little bit. Tangent is where you have to worry about that, not sine and cosine. Okay, well, we're given cosine beta, so we need sine beta. Sine beta is going to equal to y over r. which is 24 over or 25. Okay, so now we're ready. Cosine of alpha plus beta is equal to, and I have to keep in mind my formula is based upon x's and y's, so that'd be x and that'd be y. So our formula over here says that cosine of alpha, or x plus y, is equal to cosine x cosine y minus sine x sine y. Except for ours is alpha and beta, which means wherever I have an x, I'm going to put in my alpha. So this is cosine alpha. Wherever I have y, I'll put in beta. Cosine beta minus sine alpha sine beta. So we know these items. Cosine alpha is down here, is 12 over 13 times cosine beta, and cosine beta was 7 over 25, minus sine alpha. Sine alpha is 5 over 13 times sine beta, which is 24 over 25. So that gives us 84 over, I think 425, but let's see. 13 times 25, 325. Not very good at the basic math, I guess. And let's see, 0 to 120. We better double check that. 5 times 24, 120. And then 13 times 25, again, that's 325. And subtract the top parts, negative 36 over 325 minus, negative 36. Now the question is whether that simplifies. I could spend some time trying to figure it out, or I could simply put in my calculator. Negative 36 divided by 325, and then do math, enter. And it doesn't simplify. So that would be our answer.